Hey everyone, how's it going? Yeah, you can probably see I've mellowed out a little bit. Oh my gosh, my lungs. Okay, so I want to talk frankly, about sexuality and the targeted community. Now, at the very least, targets have a very complicated relationship with their sexuality due to the weapons that are being used on us, due to the way that we are spied on, like basically just changing to like having couples that maybe we have sex with, or maybe enjoying ourselves by ourselves. So literally everything, like I said before, is weaponized against TIs, and sex is one of those things that, like, we can't exist without it. But it's literally, we literally put so much importance on it that for any human being to have it weaponized against them, it can be scarring, it can be incredibly traumatic, and it makes up a fundamental part of psychological torture, like being forced against your will, being sexually harassed, being touched up. And it's also one of those things where if you are sexually abused, somebody could literally abuse you, and it's like, because your body is responding in a certain way, it kind of scrambles your brain and messes with your brain. So the way TIs normally deal with it is just to avoid any type of sexual activity altogether. No masturbation, no partners, no nothing, because then we got to get into the honey traps as well. And, that's a whole other thing. So that, TIs have their sexuality weaponized against them, which is why they choose not to focus on it. But of course, me being me, I choose to kind of, instead of avoiding life, I kind of try to find ways around it, because as a woman, it's important to have frequent orgasms. So, okay, non-penetrative, right? But it's important for a woman to have orgasms for the benefit of her health. So my thing is not to kind of embrace the abuse when it comes, but simply to follow my own urges and my own instincts and just go with that and explore my body on my time. So it's not that I'm going with the abuse. It's not that I'm going against it. I'm just going with me when I explore that area of my life, which is basically what I did last night and this morning, right? So when I talk about sexuality being weaponized against TIs, let me tell you what I mean. So basically, I was lying in my bed today, and of course, the white trash from upstairs comes downstairs. It wasn't the mother this time, it was somebody else. It was like, I think it was one of the younger relatives and one of her friends that said the whole flat smells like her. I'm like, and I think it was combined with the fact that one of the children, they said they heard me going, ah. First of all, whilst I was doing what they said I was doing, the reason why I made that noise, first of all, I went, ow! I was like, The reason I did that was because I was literally holding my phone and looking at it, and the phone was too bright, right? So I'm like, oh shit! So I got to turn that shit down. Yeah. So that's why the noise. It wasn't actually because I was. It wasn't because of that. It was because of, like, my phone was too bright and it was just like, oh fuck, oh yeah, that's why. And I was trying to keep the noise down because it was really bright. And the thing is, it catches you off guard because your whole room is dark. But it's like when your phone is on 10 in terms of brightness, it's just like, oh shit, fucking blinds you. But yeah, that's the reason why I made that noise. But they made that noise, the child made that noise to them, describing what I was doing. So what they did is they put two and two together and came up with four, which is rare for them. It's rare for them to do that. So they put two and two together, came up with four, and then I don't know if gang stalking got involved or anything, but I think what they did from there is they decided, okay, then that's something that we can use. So these two reprobates came downstairs and they said that the whole flat stinks of her. And I'm like, which whole flat? Yours? how is, please forgive me for being really, really graphic about this, but how would the smell of my juices going to reach upstairs? What whole flat? What whole flat? So how my juice is going to rise upstairs? Like, if it's gone off meat or something like that, then yeah, that's definitely going to reach upstairs, because anybody who knows anything about gone off meat, that shit is going to permeate throughout the entire fucking building. But me, I mean, at most, that smell is only going to follow wherever it is that I've traveled. So which whole flat are you talking about? Because I haven't been in your flat. And then on top of that, I've only gone from here to the bathroom. And then on top of that, when I came back in here and I realized what it smelled like, there was like a little bit of me in there, but it actually smelled really good. So what are you actually talking about? Like, it smelled like me and like perfume. So it was like a combination of the two. And plus there's the fact that I drink more water than I used to. I eat more vegetables than I used to. So I no longer walk around smelling like house keys. Okay? So basically, it couldn't be that. So if you're saying that the whole flat smell, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? It just doesn't make any sense. But these are the ways in which sexuality is weaponized against TIs. Like I said, shame makes a big part of abuse. When you're being abused, you feel ashamed. The shame is the first thing you feel, because you know you're being violated, but it's like you don't respond fast enough, or you don't respond the way that you want to. So shame is a big part of that. That's why, like, the sexual harassment and sexual abuse of TIs is so important. It's the shame involved. It's the way it makes you feel ashamed of yourself. It demeans you. But the thing is that I'm healing my issues around sexuality and around my body, so it doesn't bother me so much anymore when people say things like that. It just kind of confuses me, because it's like, what did you think you were going to get out of that? If I'm a TI and I know the psychological effects of sexual abuse, and I know about the weaponization of sexual abuse, and I know how it affects TIs, and I know how it affects TI sexuality, then what did you think you were going to get out of that? You need to focus on the fact that TIs can be remotely sexually abused in the first place. You need to worry about the fact that your government lied to you about the kind of weapons that they were using against people and what the capability of those weapons are. Speaking of which, side note, I've got irritated lungs, right? Partly because I burned too much sage this month, okay? I got to cut back on the sage. But it's also, you know, it's not just, it's sage, it's candles as well. It's candles too, because there's a special way that I dress them. So sage, candles, and then I've got the electronic weaponry being hit on my back. And remember, the electronic weaponry is designed to drain the water from your body. So of course, those three combined, and plus the fucking mold in the bathroom doesn't help, which I keep having to clean. Like, those four things combined, irritated lungs. And then on top of that, cold air. So my lungs are irritated. Like, my lungs are really irritated. So I was tested negative for COVID. So it's not COVID. It's just that my lungs are irritated. So the point I was making is that you need to worry about the weapons that are being fired on people. You need to worry about your government lying to you. Worry about that. Don't worry about the O's that I'm having over here, because I guarantee you, with or without a partner, I'm having more than you. You need to focus on something else. And the thing is, what perps really need to do is take that shame where it belongs. Shame doesn't belong with a person in their home, behaving normally and engaging normal activity. And like I said before, orgasms are a very, very big part of a woman's mental health. For a man, it might be different, but for a woman, the more orgasms she has, and especially if it's non-penetrative, the better her health is. There are certain women who can't, you know, if they don't get their orgasms, they get headaches, because orgasms release a certain amount of tension from the body, and it releases a certain amount of chemicals from the body. So it's really, really important that you get your satisfaction as a woman. So I'm not going to be ashamed of something that's fucking borderline medicinal for me to do, whilst you're up there trying to shame me over it and you're as dry as sandpaper. Maybe fix that. Maybe fix that. Maybe a few orgasms would mellow you out a little and you wouldn't have to focus on mine and trying to shame me over body odor that's not even that strong. Like, I walked back in here and I swear there was a small bit of me. Because what I've learned to do is I've learned to wash my shit every time I go to the toilet. I've learned to wash myself. If I don't have no toilet paper, I use a flannel. So, you know, combined with the improved diet, I mean, my diet is still fucking crap, but like, it's improved. I drink more water than I used to. I drink more lemon water. Drink lemon water every morning. So I smell better. A lot better than I used to. Like, my smell has really improved over the years. And the thing is that, you know, it's really improved over the years because of what I've been doing. So you're making a big song and dance production about scent that is not even that strong in the first place. I mean, when I came back in, it did smell of me, but it actually smelled good. It was like me, like aromatherapy oils and perfume. That's what it smelled like. That's what the shit smelled like, because I wash my shit. And I'm not a lazy wiper either. That's another thing we have to consider. I'm not a lazy wiper. So what whole flat smells like me? Not my whole flat. The bedroom didn't smell like me. In here marginally smelled like me. So I know that the corridor didn't smell like me like that. So which whole flat? Your flat? How did your flat smell like me? And why would you be going out of your way to talk about my scent? Why? Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like, maybe you need to get some more O's yourself, level yourself out a little, and stop focusing on what my other JJ's doing. Like, just chill out a little bit, because we're sex positive over here. We don't deal in fucking embarrassing people for their sexuality, and definitely not TIs. We are abused and harassed enough already. We don't deal in shame over here. Okay? We don't deal in shame over here. We deal in healthily and maturely dealing with our sexual issues over here. That's what we do over here. We don't fucking try to use sex to shame people. I mean, maybe maybe like a few years ago, I used to do that to other perps. Slut shame them and sexually shame them. You know, as a combination of internalized abuse and you know, internalized abuse not only from being a TI but from my own past. Yeah, maybe I used to do that before. We don't do that now. I won't begrudge any of the perps an orgasm or two. In fact, it might level them out a bit, especially the female ones. Not getting enough, dry as sandpaper, then you want to come after me and talk shit. Like, please, girl, please. Please, leave TIs alone. Focus on your government lying to you. Focus on your government sexually abusing people remotely and spying on them and getting off on it and then trying to project that shame onto TIs. Focus on that. Anyway, listen. I am glowing, you guys. Glowing. Okay? Glowing. And relaxed. So I had a good night and I had a good morning. Thank you. Okay? Had my shower too. So I'm extra glowy. I'm extra radiant. You know, man, come for me and my O's, man. Focus on yourself. Now, what does it say about perps that even when they have partners and I don't, I still get more O's in than they do? They need to focus on that. Anyway, check out Real Justice Tarot for my daily readings. They're going to be linked in the video. I also have a vocals channel, Fabienne Deacon Vocals, but I'm not on there a lot. Like in the first place, I'm not on there a lot because my obsession with the occult just overtakes everything. And plus with my irritated lungs, I really don't sound that good. Like, I'll give you an example, no, I do not sound good. Hold on. Yeah. It's not good. I got irritated lungs, man. So, I sound really bad. But anyway, look, I love you guys. You take care. Bye-bye.